Breaking news! Elon Musk's dreams of Mars has suffered a major blow. The most recent test flight literally went up in flames. SpaceX's massive Starship rocket exploded catastrophically during its 8th test flight yesterday, sending fiery debris raining down over the Caribbean and forcing multiple Florida airports to ground flights. But what could have caused this spectacular failure? And why was this rocket allowed to fly after a similar explosion just weeks ago scattered debris over populated islands? This latest space disaster raises serious questions about safety, regulation, and the true cost of reaching for the stars. Stay with us here at Trend Watch Viral as we unpack this developing story that has aviation officials, island nations, and space enthusiasts scrambling for answers. The incident occurred approximately 8 minutes into the flight on Thursday, March 6th, after what initially appeared to be a successful launch from SpaceX's Starbase facility in South Texas. The massive 403-foot rocket, the most powerful launch system ever built, lifted off at 5:30 p.m. Central Time yesterday. The initial phase went according to plan, with the Super Heavy booster successfully separating from the Starship upper stage and even making a historic landing back at the launch tower using what SpaceX calls its chopstick arms. But about 9.5 minutes into the flight, as the Starship continued towards space, mission controllers noticed several engines cutting out. During their live webcast, SpaceX Communications Manager Dan Hewitt described the situation, stating, "We just saw some engines go out. It looks like we are losing altitude control of the ship." The spacecraft then began to spin uncontrollably before all communication was lost. Shortly afterward, what SpaceX diplomatically called a rapid unscheduled disassembly occurred. In other words, the rocket exploded. The aftermath of this explosion was felt far beyond the space industry. The Federal Aviation Administration ordered ground stops at Miami International, Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International, Palm Beach, and Orlando airports due to what they termed, quote-unquote, space launch debris concerns. Flights were temporarily halted from departing these airports, and aircraft already in the air had to be rerouted around areas where debris was potentially falling. Even after operations resumed, delays continued well into the evening, with flights from Fort Lauderdale and Miami experiencing average delays of 30 to 45 minutes. This marks the second time this year that a Starship explosion has disrupted civilian activities. In January, debris from the 7th test flight landed on the islands of Turks and Caicos, causing minor property damage and forcing similar flight disruptions. The FAA has opened a formal mishap investigation into Thursday's incident. They've ordered SpaceX to identify the root cause of the failure before any future Starship flights can be approved. What's particularly concerning to critics is that this launch was approved while the investigation into January's explosion was still ongoing. The Turks and Caicos government has also issued a statement saying they're in contact with U.S. authorities and have engaged post-incident protocols to ensure the safety of their islands. Aerospace experts note that while setbacks are common in rocket development, what's concerning is that these failures are occurring at similar points in the flight path and over populated areas. SpaceX has embraced what they call rapid iterative development, essentially building fast and accepting failures. That approach works well when testing occurs over unpopulated areas, but becomes problematic when debris falls on communities. In a statement, SpaceX described what happened as an energetic event in the aft portion of Starship that resulted in the loss of several Raptor engines, ultimately leading to a loss of altitude control. The company maintains that any surviving debris would have fallen within designated safety areas and contained no toxic materials. Notably absent from the public response has been SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, who has not commented on this latest setback for the company's Mars rocket program. Despite these consecutive failures, SpaceX remains committed to its ambitious Starship program, which is central to Musk's vision of eventually sending humans to Mars. The company says it will continue to learn from these incidents to improve Starship's reliability. The FAA has not indicated how long its investigation might take or when SpaceX might be cleared for its 9th test flight. Meanwhile, residents of coastal communities and Caribbean islands will be watching the skies with renewed concern. Once again, as always, this is Trend Watch Viral bringing you the latest on this developing story. Okay, one last thing. For free access to a brain audio breakthrough recording that until recently was kept hidden from the general public by the rich and powerful, and which can help ordinary people like you and me, regardless of our current situation, to be able to start attracting wealth quickly, please send an email to trendwatchviral@gmail.com before this recording is taken down.